The silence after you tell a new acquaintance I'm not on social media is deafening. You watch their eyes dart, rapidly calculating whether you are a pretentious hipster, a witness protection asset, or an active serial killer. Because that is the reality we live in. We exist in a society that has aggressively decided that visibility equals existence. If there isn't a digitally time-stamped photographic record of you eating a moderately overpriced brunch, you are legally dead. I mean, my condolences to your family, but the grid has spoken. But here is the grueling internal conflict you wrestle with every single day. It's not that you hate people. You actually love your friends. You just cannot physically handle the crushing, atmospheric weight of a perpetual audience. You are exhausted by the expectation to constantly perceive and be perceived, to like the engagement photos of someone you haven't spoken to since middle school chemistry, to absorb a barrage of political hot takes before you've even had your morning coffee, to feel that quiet, creeping guilt when you miss a massive life update because your friend broadcasted it to the void of their story instead of texting you directly. And then, somehow, you are the bad guy. You are accused of not caring, simply because you chose to protect your peace. Let's get something straight right now, preferably before you spiral into another late-night existential crisis about why you can't just be normal. You are not broken. You are not antisocial. You are not inherently flawed. And you are certainly not losing your mind. If you find yourself retreating into the quiet, feral sanctuary of your offline life, I need you to understand that your brain is just running on a completely different, highly specialized operating system. It is designed to protect you. So when you find yourself delivering that deeply awkward, highly rehearsed, "Oh, I actually don't have Instagram" speech at a party, desperately trying to modulate your tone so you don't sound like a pretentious, off-the-grid manifesto writer who makes their own toothpaste, stop beating yourself up. That messy, seemingly unconventional habit of vanishing from the grid, that is a perfectly logical survival tactic. Your nervous system is looking at the sheer volume of digital demands being thrown at it and hitting the emergency eject button. It's essentially your brain realizing the house is on fire, grabbing the dog, and walking out the front door, while everyone else is sitting in the living room arguing about which Instagram filter makes the flames look the most aesthetic. You aren't failing at society. You are surviving it. Let's look under the hood of that hyper-vigilant nervous system of yours, because hard science explains why your brain is frying itself. It comes down to two concepts: Dunbar's number and allostatic load. Anthropologists discovered a biological hardware limit called Dunbar's number. The human brain is only wired to maintain a maximum of about 150 stable social relationships. That is the hard cap on your bandwidth before the motherboard starts smoking. But social media ignores that reality. It forces your brain to artificially track the microdramas, polarizing opinions, and upsetting breakfast choices of thousands of peripheral acquaintances. You are processing the breakup of a girl you went to camp with 12 years ago, the promotion of a guy who cut you off in traffic, and the unsolicited vacation vlog of your dentist, all within a 45-second scrolling session, while you are just trying to use the bathroom in peace. This chronic overprocessing creates what psychologists call allostatic load. That is, the cumulative physiological wear and tear on your body caused by chronic, low-grade stress and sensory overload. You aren't just annoyed. You are biologically weathering an invisible storm. It is the psychological equivalent of keeping 84 tabs open on your browser and wondering why the cooling fan sounds like a Boeing 747 preparing for takeoff. Imagine your brain's social processing center as an exhausted, underpaid bouncer at a dive bar. The fire marshal legally capped the building's capacity at 150 people, It's cozy, it's manageable. But social media is essentially 4,000 screaming strangers crammed into the alleyway. They are violently banging on the door, holding up heavily filtered pictures of their vacations, and aggressively demanding that the bouncer validate them. When you finally delete your accounts, society calls it running away. But it isn't a retreat. It is the bouncer finally locking the heavy steel deadbolt, turning off the buzzing neon sign, and pouring himself a well-deserved drink in the absolute dark. So, how exactly does your brain handle this bouncer at capacity crisis? Because not all digital ghosts haunt the same way. If you are watching this, you probably fall into one of three highly specific, slightly feral categories. Let's do a quick psychological roll call. First, we have the phantom lurker. You are the one with the completely blank default avatar burner account. You follow 0 people and have 0 followers. You exist strictly to read hyper-specific Reddit threads about cast iron skillet maintenance, or to check the PDF menu of that new Thai restaurant because they refuse to buy a website domain. To your friends and family, you are entirely invisible, a total digital void. But in the shadows of the internet, you are an omniscient observer, absorbing highly concentrated doses of niche data before evaporating back into the ether. Next, there is the chronic relapser. You are trapped in a vicious, exhausting cycle of digital death and rebirth. You delete all your apps in a glorious 3 a.m. blaze of overstimulated rebellion, swearing off the digital world forever to go read paperbacks and touch grass, only to panic reinstall Instagram 3 weeks later because your best friend got engaged and you missed the memo, leaving you scrolling for 10 minutes before remembering exactly why you burned it all down in the first place. Your App Store download history is just a tragic timeline of your crumbling boundaries. And finally, we have the feral monk. You are the rare, terrifyingly peaceful entity who actually did it. You are completely off the grid. You communicate strictly via SMS text messages, phone calls, or carrier pigeon. You possess absolutely 0 knowledge of whatever TikTok audio is currently dominating the cultural zeitgeist, and you sleep incredibly well at night because of it. Society constantly frames your lack of a digital footprint as being disconnected or left behind. Like you are somehow failing the modern human experience by not performing your waking life for an audience of strangers. Let's completely flip that. You aren't broken, and you aren't lagging behind. Your nervous system is actually functioning with elite, terrifying efficiency. Your brain subconsciously recognized an evolutionary trap, a predatory attention economy meticulously designed by billionaires to drain your dopamine and weaponize your insecurity. And it successfully triggered an escape hatch. This is prime Raccoon Logic. Think about it. Why on earth would you willingly stand in the middle of a blinding, deafening, exhausting, 6-lane digital highway of constant comparison and relentless outrage when you can safely retreat to the quiet, cozy, unbothered shadows of your own actual life? I mean, sure, the shadows don't have algorithmic validation, but they also don't have people arguing about the socio-political implications of a viral salad recipe. Your invisibility isn't a symptom of some deep antisocial pathology. It is a highly advanced, brilliantly executed boundary. You haven't dropped off the map because you are lost. You just finally realized the map was actually a labyrinth designed to keep you running in circles forever. And you simply chose to walk out. So the next time the silence stretches out after you confess you aren't on social media, just let them stare. Let them run their little calculations. You know exactly what you are doing, and your bouncer is sleeping soundly. Before you retreat back into your offline sanctuary, do me a favor. Drop a transmission in the comments below and let the rest of the night shift know who they are sitting with in the dark. Are you the omniscient phantom lurker? The exhausted chronic relapser?
Or the mythical feral monk?
Leave your tag, take a deep breath, and then go enjoy the glorious, unremarkable silence of your real life. Stay feral, my friends. I'll see you when the sun goes down.